This is problem number 67 from the review. I got asked how to verify this. So as you can see on the formula sheet, we already know this is going to be equal. Obviously, tangent of x is better than this side since it has this subtraction sign. It has two terms inside the parentheses. But the question is, like, where does this formula come from? You've got to verify. You've got to show. So what you're going to notice next is this is a sum and difference formula. Now, instead of doing cotangent, I would rather deal with like maybe sine and cosine. I just like to deal with those a little bit better usually than cotangent. I don't usually love to deal with tangent that much either, but it can work. So with this one, I'm going to rewrite this as sine and cosine. So remember, tangent is sine of x, look, sine of x over cosine of x, and then cotangent is cosine of pi halves minus x over sine of pi halves minus x. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take the top and you're going to rewrite it with a difference formula. So then if you look at your formulas, your sum and difference formulas, if you're dealing with cosine, it's cosine, cosine, sine, sine. So then we have cosine of pi halves plus, oh, nope, sorry, cosine pi halves, cosine of x, plus sine of pi halves, sine of x. Then on bottom, the bottom part here, if we have our sum and difference formula for sine, looking at your sum and difference formulas, it goes sine, cosine, cosine, sine. So this would be sine of pi halves. Remember with cosine, it's opposite, and then with sine, it stays the same. The sign stays the same. We talked about that in the video. It's kind of something you have to memorize, so keep that in mind. Then minus cosine of pi halves sine of x. Okay, so now if we go to our unit circle and calculate these things where we can, the cosine at pi halves is 0. So then we have 0 times by cosine of x plus sine at pi halves is 1, so 1 times sine of x on top. Then that's all over sine at pi halves is 1. So we have 1 times cosine of x minus the cosine at pi halves is 0 times sine of x. So then 0 times cosine is gone. That's 0. So then we just have sine of x on top. On bottom, we have 1 times cosine of x, which is cosine of x. And this is 0, right? It goes away. So then from here, we just have sine of x over cosine x, which equals tangent of x.